Okay, in this lesson, video lesson 5 for PowerPoint Chapter 3, we're going to look at creating and modifying a smart art diagram again, and we're going to look at slide transitions. So in the last lesson, we actually did a vector object. Remember, vectors are those mathematical calculations that define the image coloring and specifications, and we ungrouped this beaker, took parts out of it, and we changed the color. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add a slide. So we want new slide here, and in our slide panel, we want to make sure that our layout of this slide is going to be the title slide. So if we right mouse click and choose layouts, we can choose a title and text slide right here, and that's what we're looking at getting. So in our slide layout in the title area, we're going to type the words scientific method. And then we're going to insert our smart art graphic. Now, when we did our layout before, we had those little controls in here that would allow us to insert a smart art graphic. But I want to show you another way to do that. So let's click on this text box border, and let's right mouse click. We're going to click on this and hit our delete key. I'm sorry, not right mouse click. Click and hit the delete key. And we're going to insert smart art by going to insert smart art. We're going to go to the process category, and in the process category, we're going to choose the continuous block process, and then we're going to click OK. So this smart art actually gives us a 3 series of blocks so that we can fill our text in. Now we're going to open up our text pane, and we're going to fill in our text through the text pane. And in the text pane, I want you to type in hypothesis, experiment, observation, and theory. And when I hit enter, I got the next bullet so that I would have the extra block. So hypothesis, experiment, observation, and theory. So we have 4 blocks in our pane right here. So we're going to format the text characters with our mini toolbar. And what I want you to do is highlight these 4, get your mini toolbar up there. We're going to bold, and we're going to change the font color so it is red. Bold and change the font color so it is red. We're going to click the close button in the Smart Arts text pane to close that out. And with the Smart Art graphic still selected, we're going to click the More button in the Smart Art Styles group to expand the Smart Art gallery. And we want the metallic scene style. So if you're not sure which one that is, just hover over these and you should find the metallic scene style, which gives us a overlapping of our smart art, but that's okay for now. And then we're going to change the smart art color. So in our smart art gallery, we're going to change the color, and here's our change color button. And then I want you to pick the colorful range accent colors 5 to 6. Okay, to adjust the smart art size, we're going to use the corner handles, and we can click to move, but you need that double arrow in order to click and drag to adjust the Smart Art size. And I kind of want you to center this over the slide so that it is large enough to fill a big portion of that slide. So now we've got the overlap taken care of. It's not overlapped anymore. Use your arrow keys on your toolbar. When your Smart Art is selected, use the arrow keys on the toolbar to get it so it looks centered on your screen. When you use the arrow keys on the toolbar, that's called nudging. You can nudge left, right, and up and down. Okay? So now that we have this slide completed, we want to update our save. So you can either go to File, Save, or remember our keyboard command is Control S to save our documents. So File, Save, or Control plus S is the same thing. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is use some animations in transitions between our slides. Now, when we view our presentation, we talked about the slides, we talked about our outline pane before, but when we actually view our presentation, we want to use the presentation slideshow view, which is this little screen here, this movie screen. Or we can go up to View, and then our slideshow, which I'm not seeing it in here. So if you're not finding it, oh, it's under slideshow, I'm sorry. So View Slideshow from the beginning. And what that does is it allows us to actually navigate through our slides by either clicking or hitting the enter button on our keyboard, okay? When we do that and we use that View Slideshow, we're going from slide to slide to slide. There's no transition embedded within the slides. We have to put those transitions in there. And the transitions are helpful to bring some interest and curiosity to your presentation. So we're going to click on the animation ribbon here, and we're going to look at our animations for our transitions. Now we're on the slide 1, and in the ribbon we have a transition gallery. And then, I'm sorry, click on the transition ribbon. There's our transition gallery. So in our transition gallery, when you click that More button, you have all these types of transitions that you can take a look at. Now, some transitions have more effect than others, and some, like that vortex, is actually very empowering and sometimes can be too much of a transition. So you really need to look at how you want your slides to turn from slide to slide. Okay. Also, in the More button, you have what's called dynamic content, exciting, and then subtle. So depending on the audience that you are talking to will depend on the group that you're looking at. You can transition with the gallery, and you can also determine which way you want your transition to come in. So for instance, if I have a Ferris wheel type transition, I may determine I want it to come in from the left. Okay? So on each of your slides, I want you to choose and work with the different types of transitions that are available and the effect options, because each effect option will have a different choice in the transition. So for each slide, go ahead and choose a transition. And then one thing I want you to notice is when you look at your slides in the slide pane right here, this little star with the lines going through it shows that there is a transition in that slide pane, okay? We are in design view right now, which is this normal view, but if we were to go to the slide sorter down here, we can actually see that star on each slide that has a transition. okay? Now, if you like a certain transition, you might decide that you want to apply that transition to all your slides, which is a quick and easy way to give that effect from slide to slide, okay? Okay, the next thing we're going to do is discuss animation bullets. And your animation bullets would be a good choice for this slide here. Animation allows content of information to come in one at a time. And when you do that, you actually are allowing that animation piece to come in. So by choosing your text or bullets, you can actually have your content come in. So now if I'm in my slideshow view and I go to my slide, I am required to click in order to get those bullets or the text to come in. Notice now I have the numbers of the orders that these animations are coming in. This is important because when you are looking at your pane, here's your animation pane right here, you can reorder these. Maybe you want the beaker to come in. So here I have group item, that is the beaker, and maybe I want to reorder this. I want to move this up in my list. So I'm just clicking and dragging to move in up in my list. So now when I play my slideshow, I have nothing on my slide. That beaker's coming in first, and then my first block of text, and then my second block of text, okay? So this is a click and drag to reorder these items, and it allows you to determine what's coming in first, what's coming in second, and what's coming in third. Now, a cool transition that some people like to use is one that is called a pathway, creating a pathway. And I'm going to go to my clip art gallery, and I'm going to search for another beaker here. And this beaker doesn't have to be anything in particular, but maybe I want this beaker to animate into my slide through a pathway. And we can do that by clicking this custom path. And when I click on this custom path, I can click, and I'm doing a series of clicks to show how the speaker is going to fly into my animation. Okay, so in my slideshow, I've created this pathway for my fourth animation for something to come in. Now this can be overused if it's not enhancing the presentation. I wouldn't advise using it, but note that that custom path is there. You also have emphasis on your motion paths and exits, and then you can play around with those in your slideshow too. Okay, so that covered the Smart Art graphic, the bullet animation, and the transition. In the next video, we will look at the master slide and the rehearsed timing.